Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the next episode of the meaningful financial and mindset sharing series from the channel of compassion and wisdom. In episode 1, we learned together about the root of wealth and poverty, realizing that the difference does not only come from circumstances or luck, but also from financial mindset and each person's invisible karma. We also analyzed the financial traps that the middle class is falling into, living in a dangerous illusion of safety and in perpetual hidden debt. Continuing from those deep analyses, today we will dive deeper to answer important questions. What do the rich do differently that makes them increasingly prosperous? And more importantly, how can we, regardless of which class we belong to, apply those secrets to escape the stressful financial loop and build a truly free and peaceful life? Let's explore together. What do the rich do differently? So then, what are the rich doing differently to keep getting richer? To really understand this, we must look deep into the actions and mindsets they apply differently. Sometimes what makes them wealthy is not how much money they earn, but how they perceive money, life, and themselves. 1. The rich value time more than money. Ordinary people, or the poor, often use their precious time to earn money. They sell each hour of labor in exchange for income. In contrast, the rich use money to buy back time. They do not waste energy on trivial tasks that don't bring high value. Instead, they hire people to do those tasks, use technology to automate, learn to optimize every process. And more importantly, they use that precious time to continuously learn, invest in mindset, health, high-quality relationships, things money can never buy back once lost. The Buddha taught, a moment of awakening is worth more than 100 years of ignorance. Time, if we don't know how to value it and use it wisely, is like us squandering our merit every day without even realizing it. 2. The rich invest in the future, while the poor often spend on the present. The poor often live in a very emotional style. If I like it, I buy it. If I have money, I spend it. Worry about the rest later. They rarely look long-term. Meanwhile, the rich always have a clear plan. They understand that every dollar they spend today is a seed they plant for the future. They not only invest in tangible assets, but also strongly invest in themselves. They learn new skills, spend time building and expanding networks, put money into things that can truly help money make money. In contrast, many poor people often pour money into buying unnecessary items for immediate gratification, pointless entertainment that brings no long-term value, or material purchases just to show off. The Buddha once said, "The fool uses money to nourish illusions. The wise use money to sow wisdom." 3. The rich truly know enough and do not waste to prove themselves. It sounds paradoxical, but the richer they are, the simpler their lives tend to be. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. They don't need to chase anyone. Don't buy anything just to keep up. Meanwhile, those with modest incomes often get caught in a vicious cycle. I need this to be respected. I need to go there to look classy. And then, what's the consequence? They go into debt. Credit card debt, bank loans, borrowing from friends, even debt to themselves for wasting precious youth years on vain pride. The one who knows enough is the richest in the soul. The one who always feels lacking is the most miserable. 4. And finally, the rich learn from failure, while the poor fear failure. Success never comes from walking a straight, easy path. The rich aren't people who have never stumbled. They simply never give up. They view each mistake, each fall, as a valuable lesson. not the end of all effort. Conversely, the poor often fear loss, fear risk, fear challenge. They prefer safety, holding on to the familiar, and therefore they never truly move forward. In Buddhist teaching, this is the mind of fear, a fundamental ignorance. Fear doesn't make us safer. Only clear wisdom and correct action can truly lead us to genuine freedom. Now, let's look at the middle class. A class stuck between two currents, sometimes without even realizing it. If the poor live in visible deprivation, then many middle-class people live in a dangerous illusion of safety. They have stable incomes, certain assets, and education. But ironically, they are the class most easily drained, both mentally and financially. 1. They are pushed into an endless race for prestige. Middle-class people always live with the feeling, I am not enough. I need more to match friends and colleagues. My child must go to the best school. My house must be in a more upscale area. I must have a new car, a new phone, a new lifestyle. And thus, the cycle of comparison and endless desire pushes them to spend beyond their income. They borrow to shop, they purchase to maintain image, and maintain image to avoid falling behind others. That is the trap of prestige, one of the 5 cravings: fame, gain, beauty, taste, rest, that Buddha warned about long ago. When we live for fame, soon we live for debt. 2. The scariest thing is the hidden debts that gradually eat away at middle-class freedom. They may have a dream salary of 20 to 30 million VND per month, but let's analyze. Every month, they work like running on a hamster wheel non-stop. They cannot stop, because stopping means bankruptcy. They also cannot move forward comfortably, because they have no strength or spirit left. They seem to have it all, but they are actually trapped by the very life they drew for themselves. 3. They suffer an invisible pressure. Social success, but internal emptiness. Many middle-class people have status, high positions, brilliant degrees, but their souls are always uneasy. They fear losing jobs. They fear falling behind. They fear not being equal to anyone. They fear others judging them. They live by others' eyes, not from the inner peace and contentment within themselves. In Buddhism, that is suffering due to attachment to self, the excessive cling to the ego, to self-image, to the point where they no longer recognize who they really are. And that is why the middle class is the class that most needs awakening. The poor still have strong motivation to rise. The rich have a system to protect their assets in peace. But the middle class, they think they've arrived safely, so they become complacent. They spend a lot, borrow a lot, are busy a lot, yet rarely stop to truly reflect. Is this lifestyle really worthwhile? Who am I actually living for? What will my children learn from their parents besides strive and get into debt? Do I still have time to really live? The Buddha taught, one who lives mindfully, even amidst the bustle of life, is still the freest. How to escape the financial loop? So then, how do we escape this financial loop? The light from Buddhist teachings and new mindset will be the key. If we are poor because of karma, then we can transform our own karma. If we are trapped by distorted thinking, then we can relearn new ways of thinking. The key to change doesn't lie in making more money, but in mindfulness in every financial action we take each day. 1. First, know clearly what you are living for. The Buddha taught, look at yourself as you would look in a mirror. We need to ask ourselves honestly, how much do I truly need to live sufficiently and peacefully? What am I spending money on? Do the things I buy really nourish my soul, or just satisfy fleeting desires? Am I living according to my genuine personal desires, or following social prejudices and expectations? When we can answer these clearly, we will naturally cut out many unnecessary things, and from that, we will have more money, more time, and most importantly, more lightness in our soul. 2. Second, learn to clearly distinguish between consumption and asset. Most people mistakenly think that a house, a fancy car, or a newest phone is their asset. But if those things take money from your pocket every month for installment, maintenance, operation, then they are actually liabilities. True assets are things that appreciate in value over time, generate passive income for you without needing you to work too much, and don't make you lose sleep because of debt. More than anything, a peaceful soul, a strong mind, and robust health, these are the greatest, most precious assets in life. 3. Third, practice mindful living in every consumption decision. Mindfulness is not only sitting in quiet meditation, but it needs to be present in every small spending decision of ours. Before buying anything, ask yourself, do I really need this? Before signing a debt contract, ask yourself, am I buying a hollow pride? Before deciding to invest, ask yourself, am I using wisdom to analyze or just following greed? Step by step, we will transform from someone controlled by money to someone who knows how to use money properly, mastering their own financial flow. Fourth, learn to sow financial merit and learn to give properly. Not all wealthy people are rich because they are exceptionally smart. Many are wealthy thanks to the merit they built. Merit can also be cultivated by supporting the right people who really need help, helping others escape suffering, learning the right things, and knowing how to share value instead of flaunting wealth. Merit doesn't come from giving a lot casually, but from giving properly with compassion and wisdom. And 5, and finally, meditation. That is the key to mastering material flow. When our mind becomes calm, we will gradually realize that we want less. When we want less, we will spend less. When we spend less, we need to earn less. When we need to earn less, our mind will feel lighter. When the mind is light, wisdom becomes clearer. And when wisdom is clearer, we will more easily become wealthy naturally. Wealth is no longer a goal to chase wildly, but a natural result of a mindful and steadfast life. In summary, when we view money through the lens of Buddhism, we no longer see it as sin or lowly desire. Money is just a neutral energy. How we use it determines its energy. The mindful rich, they will create true value, accumulate merit, and know how to help others. The mindful poor, they will gradually escape poverty, gently and rightly. And the mindful middle class, they will not get stuck in the trap of prestige, the trap of debt, and the trap of social prejudice. So we have traversed together the depths of financial mindset and the light from Buddhism. The story of rich, poor, middle class is no longer mysterious, but clear through the lens of mind and consciousness. Now you see, money is just a neutral energy, and it's your mindset that decides whether you use that energy to build or to destroy. Remember, you have the power to change. You are not trapped by circumstances, fate, or old habits. Every mindful moment in spending, every decision to invest in wisdom and peace, every act of sowing good seeds are powerful steps helping you break all bonds. Don't let yourself be swept into the whirlwind of pressure and false prestige. Live a meaningful life, free and full from within. If these shares touch your heart, if you feel inspired to begin the journey of transforming your finances and consciousness, don't hesitate. Subscribe to our channel today to not miss future episodes, together building a prosperous life both materially and spiritually. Small actions today will pave the way for a great future.